Hello everyone, very good evening. This is your astrologer Shyam from Atma Shuddhi Astrology, and today I am going to talk to you about a very important political prediction. Say for example, you must have all been observing the protest led by youth, especially what they call it as Gen Z. The age between 13 years and 25 to 28 years of age is called as Gen Z. All these people without any leaders, they have started to protest against injustice, corruption, non-committal way of handling things, and against all the political people, elite people, the monarchy, autocratic behavior. So people, especially the Gen Z tradition, have started to protest against all these kinds of things, especially in the South Asian countries. And for example, you must have been observing that pattern over the last few years. The famous 2022 protest in Sri Lanka against the ruling government, because the youth of the Sri Lankan nation wanted to change the power. They ravaged the parliament house and literally, the people at power, they had to just go hide and seek, because they couldn't withstand the protest of the youth. And that happened in Sri Lanka in 2022. And very recently, you must have all been exposed to the protest led by the youth without any leader in the country of Nepal, especially Kathmandu, the capital city, against the corruption of the elite people. Because Nepal is known for the king's rule for several decades or several generations. And after that, they were trying to push the democracy over there. And even in democracy, people were just throwing away the prime ministers like anything every 1 year or 2 year kind of a period. So there has been a history of instability with respect to the power in Nepal because of the protest led by youths, because they couldn't tolerate anymore, especially the Gen Z, they are becoming a reflection of, the tantrums and the tears and the humiliation of the members of the past. They have come here as a result of what the people of the Nepal have been going through for quite some time. And nobody is there, they wanted to just tolerate any kind of injustice thrown upon them. So they just ravaged the parliament of Nepal, the kingdom of Nepal. It was all burned to ashes, especially the Hilton hotel was just thrown away in ashes. That was the kind of the intensity of the youth protest in Nepal. And after that, very recently in Bangladesh as well, where, when the High Court announced abandoning of the 30% of the quota system, all the university youth students, started to protest against that, abandonment of that specific law, which was, proposed by the High Court. And the reason is, the unemployment, because, many people are there unemployed in Bangladesh, especially the women folks, significantly higher percentage than men folks. So when you looked at the protest, many people were women, especially the Gen Z girls, than, the Gen Z boys. So that was the case with Bangladesh. But then having said that, there is a common thread. The youth of all these nations have started to protest. So that scenario will escalate across all the South Asian countries, and one will lead to the example of the other. And, the youth of the other nation will, take precedence from the past, from the other countries, the youths of the other countries, and they will start to protest, showing their, opposition against corruption, opposition against autocratic behavior, opposition against, non-committal way of dealing with, people's welfare. So none of these things will be, considered, or, people will compromise anything on these facts. So the protest will happen, and all the youths of the South Asian countries will start to protest further, and this will escalate. So that's the prediction that I wanted to share it in this video. And that's a very important thing. So keep watching this space for more interesting updates on mundane astrology. And we will also be talking about spiritual principles, astrological principles, remedial measures, which will be useful for your life. If you want any personal consultation, please do reach us through the number given on the screen. Till then, God bless you all. Thank you really so much. Namaste.